Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today?
Hey.
It's your Cousins for Life. We're here. Well, Daph, Vaughn, we're
Hey,
here. We're
I,
Hey.
here, and it is the
today.
month of February.
Yeah. How did we get to
Already.
February already?
Already.
Yeah, January went swiftly, and here we are in February. And February is known for two great things.
Hmm.
It's known for Black history, our wonderful heritage, and also it's considered to be the month of love. Love, love.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know? So we thought that today would be a good topic. Let's talk about love. Now, what do you think love is? How do you love? Not only others, but yourself. And, maybe we have a few questions, but I need you to no, just love us and then share us. You got
Yeah,
that? Love us
we
and then
got it.
share us. Don't forget to throw some hearts in there too. We trying to get out there, y'all. Let your friends know that we are on, and we got a few questions, and look, we're gonna find out about this love thing today. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
what are you thinking about love in this month, Vaughn?
I don't know. When I think about love, I think about myself. I feel like the way I love me is the way I love others. So if I'm unselfish and I treat me well, then that is going to go out to everybody else. So I always think of self love.
Dad,
Hmm.
what about you?
Um, yeah, self-love is cool. It's cool and it's the right thing to do, right? But I also think about, just that walk in the park, just that looking at the ocean with the sun setting and rising.
By yourself?
No. No.
Companionship love.
No, no. No.
Okay, so
I'm
well,
talking about with a significant other, a companion, a boo, might I say, a boo boo, a boo thing.
so I'm gonna need my assistance tonight. My eyes might go up and down, but I'm still with you because we're talking about this love thing. Okay, so they're saying that I found on the internet that love can be defined in many ways, including caring for someone, promoting their interests, and having a strong emotional connection. Love can also be non-romantic, non-traditional, and non-harmonious.
Yeah, I agree.
What are some non-traditional ways that we love or love goes out?
I mean, are we talking maybe like if you're talking about non-traditional? I don't know if this is traditional or not, but can't we love through baking and cooking for someone? Service,
Absolutely. That's,
yeah.
I mean,
Our
I would
kids,
consider that to
family,
be
yeah.
non-traditional.
I show my love because I don't cook fried chicken. I like fried chicken sometimes, but I don't cook it, right? Not in the house. But when my sons are coming over or a fam's coming over, I know that's what they want. I'm going to do that because I love them.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I do that. I love to cook, and I must say I do it well.
Y'all
But
both do it well.
I show my love. Yeah, Von cook too. But
Yes.
I show my love in my meals.
Hmm.
I cook the love into my food. So there, I'm like you, Dav. Family, friends. I'll put some love in it. That's my one of my ways of showing love. That's one untraditional, way that people consider, showing love.
Hmm.
There's also unconditional love referred to in romantic or affectionate relationships.
Um, okay. So, I mean, the traditional way is you loving a partner. Um,
Hmm.
so, are you referring to friends or people? Who are we referring to now?
Well, it could go either way. It could be your friends. It could be romantic love. Let's just go with romantic love. But it doesn't have to be romantic, as I just said. Love doesn't always have to be in a romantic situation. It doesn't have to be because I am interested in marrying this person. I'm interested in spending the rest of my life, or I just want this person as a partner. It doesn't always have to be romantic.
Okay. So you're saying it doesn't have, is it always intentional or no?
Most of the time, it's intentional. It has to be intentional because you're showing an interest. And when you show interest,
Well,
you
when you
pursue.
say not romantic, sometimes I think it's not intentional because I'm just loving unconsciously.
Well, I
That's
think that there's also what you think romantic is. Everybody does not look at romance as being the same. So I think that when you talk about tradition versus non traditional, like we've always thought that the romance is, the flowers, the chivalry, the take me out to dinner, the hold my hand, the candles. I don't think that's romantic for me. That may be romantic for someone else, but what I think is romantic could just be just sitting out by a fire pit, having a glass of wine, or just sitting and chilling and having conversation. For me, that's what I consider romantic. So I think that everybody's level of romance is different, and I think that we kind of get caught up because if we don't know what a person thinks, like you have some females that are like, well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, he wasn't romantic. It's like, well, maybe he thought that was romantic. Your level of romance and another person's level of romance is something different. You could go get me a candy bar and I'm good. I think that that's romantic. But it may be, and I'm serious. You could go get me, and I'll even go further than that because I don't like candy. I just use that as an example.
right.
I remember one time, my husband, he went and he really made great effort to go find me some crackling. And I thought that was romantic. Now for
Well, that
some,
is romantic. That
they would
is.
be like, well, that's not really romantic because he didn't do. No, it is whatever you put your heart into. I feel like that's what romance is. So it could be something small. It doesn't have to be anything big.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be big. I agree.
Well, it doesn't always have to be a big thing. I think what makes it romantic is being thought of, just out of the blue. It doesn't have to be always a plan. I'm like Vine. What happened? My husband, he goes to Wawa every day, you know, and but he doesn't bring me tomato basil soup every day. And one day he just walked in with tomato basil soup just because he went to Wawa, and they had tomato basil soup. That was romantic for me, that, oh, he thought about me. It's something when a person really considers you when you're not trying to be considered, putting it all out there, dragging
Well,
you
I think
into it.
that too, can we romance ourselves? Because I think that romancing yourself is important. What do you do for you? Do you buy yourself flowers? Do
Exactly.
you take yourself to the movies? Do
It's
you
true.
do you because I'm a firm believer, how you do you is how others are going to do you. We have these big expectations of someone
Well,
doing some stuff for us, but when you set the tone, then you already setting the standard of, and even if that person doesn't do it, I romance myself all the time.
that's
I
what I was
love
going to say.
And
romancing.
that's
Because
fine.
everybody is not
But
going to do it just because you do it for yourself. They have to want it and have a choice to do it, a decision to do it. However, it's what you decide to tolerate or take.
I don't even think it's a toleration.
Because
I
they're not
think
going to
it
do
is.
it
I
necessarily.
think
well,
that
I'm gonna
is.
tell you what I think. I think that you have to teach people how to treat you.
But
You
here's
often
my
have
thing.
you have to
I'm
you
not. I'm
have
not
to
teaching people
consider
how to.
you have to
I
consider
don't agree with that.
that
I don't.
everybody, well, it's okay, but you'd have to consider that everybody is not raised the same way. And when you meet someone, maybe the way that they were taught to love, or their examples of love were not your examples of love. But by you teaching them how to treat you is by the way you treat them, and you show them what you like, and then they kind of catch on. Okay, and
Not
you
all the time.
setting boundaries, and
Mhm.
your non-negotiables, in love.
And
You
that's what I
have
said. It's a
you
choice.
have
It's
to
a choice.
show people how
And
to treat you.
it's what you tolerate as well, because some people still might not do it because it's not in them.
And that's true.
Yeah.
So
So,
on that point, let's say we have some non-negotiables in our love life. Just as women, things that we're not going to negotiate. What are your non-negotiables? Sometimes, some women, if he's not romantic, he's not chivalrous, they don't want to be bothered. That's non-negotiable for some people.
I think as long as I am treated the way I'm feel like I should be treated, in the sense that um appreciated, love,
Respect.
value,
Hmm.
um um enough. That's a big one for me. I'm enough. Okay, enough. And so if I have those different things that I'm being, fed, and I'm dishing out those things, I think I'm good. And I think it's a difference between I might be with this person, and this might be a little different than if I was with this person. So it's kind of like you got to come together and see what that looks like for those two people, because it might not always look the same depending upon who you're with, or if you were talking about romantic love, intimate love. Now, friendship
Okay.
love, I think those boundaries stick a little harder.
Okay. I,
Hmm.
I can concur with what you're saying. I can concur. So let's just skip over, move around a little bit, ask a couple of questions.
All
Maybe
right.
they keep it flowing just a little bit about this love thing, because love is such a broad, it's a very, it goes along with, there's so many different ways to love, and there's so many different types of love. I mean, we can talk about love languages, we can talk about, we can go to the Bible, talk about, agape love and all kinds of things, and we will be here all day. But I think if we talked about some other things, let's just ask the question, and what do you think is important in a relationship? Is the sex more important than the romance? Hello. What do
Oh,
you ladies think?
I,
I don't know.
you lost me
Question.
when you said sex. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm here now.
I
Okay,
said, you
so
want me to
you said
repeat the
is there when
question?
it comes to love, you said is the sex or the romance more important to me
What do you think is more important in any relationship?
in an intimate relationship? A man.
An
Okay,
intimate relationship.
we're not
Well,
talking about a
you
friendship.
usually
Okay,
having sex.
um,
Look,
okay, I'm just making sure. It would be romance for me,
okay.
most definitely romance for me.
The romance is more important in a relationship
It
than
is, because
sex.
once you romance me and you know what is going to get me in the mood,
There you go.
I'm
Right there.
there. I'm there all in. I'm all in.
Yeah.
So everything else
I have
just
to
becomes
agree. I think that it's if you want to say romance, I think that for me, definitely,
What
because
is the wooing?
that's the time. Well, for me, it's time spent. You know, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be the traditional romance, but time spent is really good for me. It lets me know if I'm in the room and you're into me, I'm into you. Now, what spoils it is if you're not into me and
mm,
I'm not into you, then that could be a problem, because that's going to make the sex a little difficult.
awkward.
But if you're
Challenging.
connected and you're spending that time with each other, I think that yeah, I definitely would go with the romance.
Yeah, because if you keep the romance going in a marriage, a relationship, a committed relationship, I mean, how can you fail? You can't. You both parties keep that romance going, and you're doing
But one
different
of
things,
the
like
things that
Vaughn
I
said,
noticed,
movies, walks, just short trips. Like Vaughn said, the candy bar that she doesn't eat, the crack, the crack.
but I,
So
I
that
feel
falls
like
under
I
love
feel like one
languages.
of the issues that people misinterpret with, or they struggle with, especially in today's time, if you're spending time with me, I feel like, and now I'm just gonna say it straight across the board, there needs to be some boundaries set, you know, I'm very good at, if my cell phone rings, I don't have to answer it. I think that if you're spending time with the person that you are in love with, you need to set some boundaries with your other loved ones. You need to say, hey, I'm on a date right now, or I'm spending time with so and so. So and else it's a matter of life or death. Can you please not call me? Because I think that what happens is it throws the whole mood and whole atmosphere off when we don't know how to let the other people know, I need to have this time, because that's what we're talking about, is the time spent. And a lot of times I think we gone, like I go out and I see couples and they're
On their phone.
sitting at the table and they're on their phone and they're
Yeah.
texting and they're,
Yeah.
they're, how you talking on the phone and you
I've
with,
seen people texting at the table.
but
And
that's
they're
what I'm
texting each
saying. I
other.
think I
Those are
really think
people.
that
Well, maybe
when
that's
we
their love. Maybe that's
well,
how they
it's
show
a
love.
difference if you're texting each other, but most of the time it's not like that.
That's true.
I
Most of the
think
time.
that when you're with someone, you need to set those boundaries with other people, and it's okay to say, "Hey, can I talk to you later, or can I get with you later? Because right now, this is where my focus is." And I think that a lot of times people struggle with that. They want something, but they don't realize that sometimes it means that you really got to
Sacrifice.
be in the room. You got
Sacrifice.
to be in the room.
Yeah.
You got to be
Mhm.
in my presence. I
Yeah.
don't want to work around um
Everything else that's going
everything
on.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't, Vaughn, I don't think I'm going to tell anybody that it's common sense. I'm dealing with adults for the most part, unless I have babies. I don't have any babies. So if I don't answer, I don't answer. If it's an emergency, they'll leave a message or they'll text, and I'll get to it when I can. If I really am
I
going to
agree.
be, if I'm going to be focused and intentional with that person, and I'm going to respect their time and respect my time and our time together. So that's kind
Right.
of what you need to do.
Well, what I'm
That
saying,
shows love. That shows love.
right. What I'm saying is, like, sometimes people go on vacations. They don't get it. We on vacation. You can't be on vacation to be on your phone. If we on vacation, we're together. You got to let the other people know, hey,
And give me your time. That goes to where different people's love languages, because
Yeah,
everybody, is not really into, spending a lot of time together,
they're not.
and they just, moving along. So you have different love languages. You have acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. Now, time is not everybody's thing. You know what
time
I'm
is
saying?
mine. I'm
Time
big
is not
on.
everybody's thing. And
I'm
I'm like
I'm
you, Vaughn. I feel like if you are into me, you're gonna give me your time.
right,
Time is something that cannot be replaced. It
right.
cannot be replaced. Once it's spent, it's history, and we've made it together, whoever I'm with.
That's true.
That's
Mhm.
the way I
That's
feel
true.
about it. That's my personal, and I mean, I feel that down to my core. So
Right.
if I take my time to be with you, to
Mhm.
make arrangements for you, with you, to whatever, understand I must love you.
Right.
Mhm.
Or this is important to me. This is
Because
important.
one thing about me, if I don't want to be with you, I'm not going to be with you, because I'm not fake. So if I take out the time and I give you my time, then I feel like it should be reciprocated. And then on the flip side, it's, some people, their love language is words of affirmation. It may be gifts. It may be I forget the other two, but
No, it's acts of service,
acts of
receiving
service.
gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch.
I think I lean more towards, definitely time is 100%. And then it's the physical
I
touch.
am a physical person.
Yeah. And I used to didn't be that way. I
I was
used to
about to
be like
say,
real, I used to be real standoffish, don't touch me. But as I changed, I'm now that physical touch person. And
I'm
so for
very
me,
affectionate.
it's
um,
like I
I'm
like
a
the
very
hugs. I like the cuddle. That lets me know that you want to be in my space and you want me in your space. So that kind of goes with the time.
I think that means a lot. Physical touch.
Yeah.
Physical touch.
I,
I'm
I'm,
a hand holder.
I'll jump in a
Hugger.
minute. I'll jump in a
You
minute.
know, just
Because I
okay.
have an opposing
Hand
answers to
holders,
that.
hand holders. Touch my leg. It shows intimacy
Absolutely.
and
Okay.
makes it's
Okay.
connecting.
If you say so.
And it's connecting
All
when you
right.
are with someone that you care
Okay.
about. You
All right.
know, that's
Mhm.
just that's the way I
I
feel.
don't think that's my top one, but okay.
All right. Well,
Then
what's your top one?
that's
I
not
mean,
your love
y'all were taking it
language.
over with it, so I was just letting y'all have it.
Well,
I mean,
don't do that.
I don't think I'm gonna do it, but I just say that it's not my top one. It's not my top one. I think time. I don't think touch necessarily.
Well, we didn't say in any order. We were just saying it's one of. It's something else I'm after. I need that physical touch. I like your time. I like your touch. But don't get me wrong. I need a good gift too. Okay,
And see,
I like a little
I'm not
something.
really into gifts. I don't
I am a
care.
giver.
You I think that sometimes givers like to receive. For
Yep.
me, I'm
Yep.
a giver, but I don't really, that's not my thing. If you give me a gift, I'm happy, but that that time and that touch is my main thing.
That's what Ron has said.
I'm
That's why.
not really into, like, I've never been into, you got to buy me a Christmas gift, or you got to buy me a birthday gift, or you got to buy me an anniversary gift, because my thing is, what really really says that you love me is when you spend time with me and you want to be in my space. So all the other stuff, I don't care. I don't care if words of affirmation. I affirm myself. I can tell myself I'm great
Yeah,
and be
me
I think
too.
it's
wonderful and all of
important
this.
though, somewhat. It has a
I
place
mean,
in the
I think that
relationship,
it's
but
what you say, Dad.
I said it has a place in the relationship, affirmation, because everybody likes to hear something at some point in time, and it might not be top on your list, but
It's nice to be
you know,
encouraged,
hmm
It's nice to be
and it's nice to be validated.
it's nice to be appreciated. I
yeah,
don't need to be
seen, yeah, appreciate
validated, and I
it.
don't need to be affirmed, but I do need to be appreciated.
And I don't
Appre-
think the love languages were
I,
meaning that.
I
huh?
say it again, Dad.
I don't think they would. Yeah, because that wouldn't make sense to me. I think it is designed, that specific one, to just encourage and
Oh,
to show my
affirmation.
love and show
I
my
think that yeah.
affirm that I love you, affirm that you are special to me. Not necessarily, that you can speak, right? That you can coach, right? You can teach, right? I don't think it was make me feel lifted up because
but
I'm
just like
down.
you said, that touch is not important for you.
No, I didn't say it wasn't important. That's
That
incorrect.
affirmation could come to me through the touch. I would rather you touch me than for your words to just
Well,
say
I
whatever.
need to hear I love you every now and
It's
then.
words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's somebody, my husband says all the time, and y'all have been in his presence all the time, and you hear him say just out of nowhere, "Babe, I love you."
Yeah, that's important.
All the time.
But I
That's
see
not
different ones being
something
different levels
that
for different people.
I
Yeah.
need all the time, but he takes pleasure in telling me that he loves me. So my children make a joke out of it for the last 26 years. They just, what in the world? They like, well, dang on, don't you know by now? I do. But it's just his thing.
Right.
That's his thing.
Yeah, everybody
He
wants to
gives
hear that
words of
those three little
affirmation, but
words
it's
every
nice
now
to
and
hear.
then. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're nice to hear. Um, yeah. I mean, I think all of them honestly play a part in a relationship. I don't think there's one that's just crossed off completely. Unless somebody's uniquely different. It could happen. But as for me, I like a little of each one.
I can
Service
say
all of them.
that.
Yeah.
I could say that just a little bit
Mhm.
of this one. I could take more of others than I will
Yes.
of, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's got. I think that's safe to say with the words of affirmation, the gifts,
Mhm.
and the
Because if I didn't receive
acts
no
of
gift
service.
ever, ever in my whole entire life, that's weird to me. That's odd to me. That's odd. Because even me cooking is a gift. So if I go buy food and I
Well,
cook,
that's an
it's a
act of
gift, right?
service.
It's also a
That's the
gift
act
because
of
I spent my
service.
money, I cooked it, I served you, yes, but I cooked it and I wanted my love in there, right? But if you come home and I've been married to you 25 years and you've never bought me
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
Yeah,
weird.
no,
That'd be a little weird
no,
for me.
no, 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 no,
Well,
no.
weird for me, dog. That won't work for me, dog.
Well, do you ladies have any non-negotiables
With what, love? You talking
in
about?
love? Just in love. What are your non-negotiables in love?
Um, hmm.
I
Uh,
think selfishness.
okay.
Um,
Say it again.
selfishness
Selfishness
is a non-negotiable for me.
when it comes to okay.
I would say um rude, inconsiderate, non-caring.
Lack of
All of
respect.
those are non, yeah. You know, one thing with me, when if I ever feel like I'm being tolerated and not
Ooh,
celebrated,
yeah.
then I'm out, because
Extra.
I
Right.
need to know that I don't ever want to feel like I'm bothering someone, or I'm in your presence and you don't want me to be in
Oh,
your
it's just too
presence.
much.
Right. So for me, those are things that are non-negotiable for me. I don't have to um I shouldn't have to ask you to call me or ask you to say
Oh,
you love me
wow.
and all of that. I shouldn't have to do that. So if that's where the relationship is, then I can't do it.
Yeah, the non-negotiable definitely all of those things Vaughn said, but and definitely time spent. If you're in front of the TV,
Yeah.
watching TV, doing other things, and you're not spending time with me, adequate time. We're not just talking about, hey babe, let's go to the supermarket. time, time
Yeah.
with me,
But you know, with
intentionally with
you
us.
two
That would be a
ladies,
non-negotiable.
listen, with you two ladies, because you are big football fans. Y'all spend a lot of time in front of the TV. And
No.
with your mate and without.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Just
that
during
could
football
be
season.
considered quality time.
Oh yeah, of
Well,
course.
I
If
mean, but
together,
I think that there has to be common interest. You
right.
know, I spend, yeah, I do like football. I like shooting pool. I like doing karaoke.
I
You
like
know,
golf.
I like
Yeah.
golf. I'll go play some golf. Um, I'm open-minded to do what now. I love riding horses. Right now, it's a little difficult with my knee, but I just feel like it should be a shared thing. I love painting. you know it just goes on and on with your likes. So I just think that whoever you're with, you should um you should share what the other person likes. I like
Absolutely.
karaoke.
Everybody is not going to like the same thing.
That's what I said. It depends on
So
the
that's
beginning,
where it comes
who you
with
with.
compromise. There are so many things that men like that women don't.
I don't
Women
think it's
like that
I don't
men
think
don't.
it's I
But
don't
you
think
make
that
a
there's some
compromise in your relationship. And you know what? I'm going to try that. We can do that. You do
but
what the other person likes.
I don't think that it's a male female thing, because you have some
No.
women that are really not into uh shopping. Like, I don't like to shop at the mall. You will never hear me say, let's go to the mall. I
Me
hate
neither.
the mall.
Me
I
neither.
really do. I hate the mall. I would prefer to look on my phone
Me
and
too.
order my clothes.
Me too.
I love sports. Now people look at me and they don't think I love sports, but I love sports. So I think that it's an individual thing, but I think that when you talk about what you like and what I like, I think it should be a shared interest. My husband will go to karaoke with me every time we go, halfway across the world. He ain't gonna never sing, but he will go with me because he wants to be with me.
Exactly. So that's not something that he does. So I think you misunderstood what I said before. I wasn't saying it had to be male or female. What I was saying is that he doesn't always like and she doesn't always like. They don't
It's a
always have the same
compromise.
they
Right.
don't
It's a
always have the same
compromise.
interest. So we have to compromise. You just gave a perfect example. You are a karaoke queen. That you are Lady V. This
No,
is
I
what
am
you
the
do.
karaoke queen.
I did say that. I gave it to you, You are the karaoke queen, and it's what you love to do. I can promise you And I don't know this for a fact. We've never discussed this. Derek was not interested in no karaoke, and he probably still ain't. He just does it because he knows that it's what his wife enjoys.
Exactly.
So I enjoy watching her. He enjoys it because you enjoy. He don't even enjoy karaoke. He enjoys you enjoying
Okay, we got
karaoke.
Right.
that.
That's
We got
true.
it.
You understand?
That's true. That's true. He don't even like to hear the other people
all the
sing.
time.
Right.
You know,
That's
it
true.
happens all
And
the time.
you know what's so funny? How I know that
That's
when
how you know somebody loves you.
I got my karaoke machine, and when I got my karaoke machine, I called one of my friends over who loves karaoke. He's like older guy. He's like 69 or something like that. And I was like, hey, come over and do karaoke with me. We started singing at 5 o'clock. He left at about 12. Now, mind you, we still singing. I'm still singing. I am now at 2 o'clock in the morning, still singing. And Derek texts my mom and he goes, she's still singing.
And that's what,
And I
and that
went to
right there.
sleep with the mic in my hand.
But understand that right there is, that's love. You know,
Yeah,
that is one of the love languages. He's given his time. He's given up. You know, love does that. It's
yeah,
tolerable.
yeah,
Tolerable. You know, it
yeah,
tolerates a lot of things.
definitely. Definitely. I agree. I agree.
Dad, what's your non-negotiable?
I said that we had to have time spent. I said it at the beginning.
No,
Yeah.
non-negotiable.
That's what I'm saying. If I don't have time spent, then I'm not in. That's my non-negotiable. I have to have my non-negotiable.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. You're saying the opposite, but I'm saying the opposite of what you're saying. So it kind of is
Yeah.
the same thing. But yeah, if there's no time spent, so if I say it that way, it's not my non-negotiable.
You
I
just
have to
need
have
your.
it. I have to have it. I have to
Okay.
have some time. I have to have some time. I have to have attention, some attention. That's time. Yeah. If I don't have attention and your attention is elsewhere, because I think we started off with that. Um, I can't. I can't stay in there. I'm exiting left at some point, you know. And I think I read an article. I think Sarah Jakes was saying it how women at some point sometimes we tolerate people crossing over our boundaries of just giving us bare minimum, and that's not love. So love
Mm-mm.
has to be time spent.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yes.
Well, ladies, I do understand all of the attributes, well, not attributes, well, the love languages and the attributes of love, what they mean, what they are, what we do with them. That's basically it for me with love for the evening, because love is what it does. That's just the way I really feel about it. We show people how we feel about them. We show them the love by what we do, even in our work, in our regular daily lives, and how we care for ourselves and what we do. Love is what it does, So that's about it for love. So now let's take a switch over maybe to a little Black history. Do you have a favorite or one that you admire or have admired from a child, just like all your life you've really admired, a Black historical figure? Now they don't have to be.
I
Um,
mhm.
Go ahead.
I don't really have one specific one that pops in my head. I do have a problem with limiting Black History Month to Black History Month.
I do too. I
I
do.
Listen,
will say that. I just
I'm
want to
Black
jump in
every
and say
month.
that.
I'm Black every month, and I
Yeah,
made a
like
post that I love being Black. I absolutely love my Blackness. I love being Black. It just is who I am, and I can't always say that I felt that way always. I didn't
mhm.
always feel that way. My daddy, and I was very young when my dad said to me, him and James Brown, he got James Brown. He said, "Listen, you Black and you proud. You are Black and you are beautiful." And it took me a minute, but when I got it, I got it. I really
Well,
got it.
I think that I agree with Daphne. I'm Black every day of the week. You know, I
All
don't want
year.
I don't want anybody to give me permission to celebrate me,
Us. Us.
my ancestors, my people, because I think that that should be a thing that happens all the time. I think that we give too much room to the holiday or the month, and it's
Commercialism.
like,
Hmm.
oh, they're going to take Black history away. You can't take Black history away. Black history is us, it's our family members, it's where we come from. You don't get to erase what
Hmm.
was. So just because you don't want to acknowledge it, I don't want to acknowledge some of the things that you do. But
And I get that.
that's
But
that.
that wasn't my question. My question was,
We don't.
is
I don't
there
have a
someone?
specific one. I did
I
answer your
don't. I
question.
don't either. I
I
don't
Well,
have
I
one.
don't
did
have
ask
a
you.
specific. Well, I do have a few people who I have admired throughout my life. Just their stories. It did bother me for a long time that the only ones that they would consider is, George Washington Carver, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. There's a whole lot of Black people out there that did a lot of stuff.
There are.
Lots of them. And I really admired, and they said that Kamala was not the first Black woman to run for president.
Shirley Chisholm.
Because Shirley Chisholm was, and that's my girl. I really admire, and I read her story, but then I watched the condensing of it when they put it in a movie. And I usually never, never, ever am going to watch the movie after I read the book. But that they did an excellent job portraying and bringing out, how the steps of what she had to go through, the racism, and how they just did everything they could, but she still did it.
Well, if I
I
had
can
to
trust you.
say somebody that I admire, um, that I have followed for a long time, I would probably say Oprah, because of her. She did not always have wealth. She was not always rich. She was not always popular. And to know her story and how she started from
Mm-hmm.
just nothing and became something, and she didn't allow a lot of the scrutiny, prejudice, and all that she may have had to go through. She has her own network, she has her own everything, and I do admire her because I remember when she used to play on All My Children, and she was a newscaster.
Newscaster.
So to
She
see
was. Mm-hmm.
her growth and her steps, and she didn't give up, and look at her now, I have to say she's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I have a question though. It seems like a lot of times, even with our children and people, when we try to reminisce of Black history, is it a time frame of historical things that we pick up time from to decide who we decide to pick, or is it just anyone that is past or present that influences?
I think that, okay, I think that we pick those people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I almost slightly have a problem with that. But what I have a major problem with is every single, and that's why I don't like Black History Month, because we always got to go back to what they think we came from. And I
Right.
don't, and that's what
And
that's
we are not
and
there
my
anymore.
thing is we not there anymore. It
We're not
happened,
there anymore.
like I remember when, I look at so many people and they're like, well, we want to teach critical race theory. And I'm like, why? I said, now, it doesn't take away from whatever. I don't know my ancestors. I don't know who was a slave. I don't know if they were a slave. I have no idea. All I know is my family, your family, our family are from the East Coast. Okay. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I didn't grow up in the South. So I grew up in New Jersey. I
Right.
don't really know the
Up
ins
north.
and outs of where that all came from. I know that Aunt Carol did some research, but for me, when you want to constantly put me in a place where we always got to remind ourselves of the struggle, I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
And
what I'm
that's
talking
my
about.
problem.
That's what
That's
I
why
was
I
wondering.
really like when we, admire those, like you said, Oprah,
Okay.
like Shirley Chisholm. There are so many people who have done so many positive things.
Yes.
We
Right.
have
So
Daniel
I can
Hell
list a
Williams,
couple.
for heart surgery. We have
Mhm.
Carson, Ben Carson,
Oh yeah, Ben.
neurology. There were so many positive things in our
Absolutely.
history that we don't have. You ain't got to drag me back to the dirt. First of all,
Right.
back
I want to
ain't
go
it
back there.
because I wasn't even back there. So back
Right.
ain't it. So I don't need to be. You already know about it. You told me about it, but you're not going to oppress me.
Mm-hmm.
That part. And the
Okay,
thing
you're not
is
going
so
to do
many,
that.
every time we watch it, it reminds us and we go back. That takes your, I'm like, it don't do nothing to
It
me. All it
deflect.
do,
That they deflecting it.
I'm like, I was never a slave. I don't have a slave mentality. I never had a master. I don't know all of that.
I've
All I
always
know
been a
is
boss.
thank you. I've always been a boss. I've always had equal opportunity. DEI I didn't fall into that category. I have never not gotten hired for a job that I am not qualified for. So you can't put me in that category. And so when they said, oh, well, we're going to do away with that, it don't affect me because I earned my position. And I think that that's the only thing that I have a problem with. It's like, why every time we have Black History Month, we got to go back to Rosa Parks. We got to go back
And
to,
Okay.
that
So
messed me up because
I
Rosa is
got a
not the
couple of
first
names I can
person,
throw out.
nor was
I
she
got a
the
couple of
last one
names.
who wanted to sit down.
I
right.
got a couple of names I can throw out then. Mahalia Jackson is one of my favorites. She was
Oh,
Absolutely.
a civil
Sarah
rights
Vaughan.
activist,
Look,
and along with a singer, an awesome gospel singer. And she had a struggle, and she ended up being on movies and singing very important places like
yeah.
Carnegie Hall and all
Billie
that.
Holiday.
Billie Holiday, right? Now I'm just gonna
Nina
say,
Simone. I mean, come on. If,
Yes.
if,
yeah,
Oh
if we
my
gonna do
God.
this,
yeah.
Yes.
we gonna
And
do this.
see, and this is
They
what I'm saying. But
struggle.
we also tend to pull those people that are famous too. But there's some people in our lives that deserve to be
Come
a
on
part of
now.
that Black
Yes.
History Month.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
so,
Absolutely.
I could think of a couple of them. Like even the people, like there's people that think this song, LaShawn Pace. I'm just gonna throw it out there. She was an amazing singer. She was an amazing giver. She was always helping. She did a lot of stuff with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, let's pull him out there. He's done a lot. I mean, it's a whole lot of people now that are live and kicking too that we can still give honor to.
Absolutely.
It's true.
It's so many
Everybody doesn't have to be
amazing,
dead.
but
Right.
we always go back to the we when we once was and we got a foot cut off or we was
Oh
thrown
Lord.
off the boat. I'm like,
It's
can
got to
we
be
please
dramatic.
stop?
Let's get this
We
over.
do not need to make no more. They just did this movie
Lena
called
Horne, one of my
Negro.
favorites.
Now we're doing Negro too. I'm like, why do I have to be reminded of how we got thrown off the boat and how we was captured or whatever? Because again, I don't know if that happened to my people. I grew up in the North. That's all I know. I had never heard my dad grew up in the South, my mom grew up in the North. But why do I have to have that constantly thrown in my face? Why can't I be proud of my family? We're three Black women and we're cousins. All of us are. Do you realize that
Educated women.
now I'm gonna put it out there, every single child of our grandparents were successful.
All of them.
Every single grandchild in our family is successful.
It's true.
Every single great grand
Child.
is
Doing pretty.
successful. So to me, when you try to throw in my face about some slavery stuff, I'm looking at you crazy because I'm like, we come from a family of wealth. We come from a family of
Education.
education. We come from a family of class. This is who we are. And here's the thing. Why do I have to apologize for that? A lot of times people looking at like, oh, y'all bougie. If that's what you want to call
Oh
me.
well.
I did not. I don't. When I look at other races of people, they're proud of who they are. Why can't we be proud of who we are?
But the thing is that we are proud of ourselves. It's
Yes,
our own people who are not proud of us.
exactly,
It's the crab in the barrel thing. Why can't you
exactly.
be proud of your sister, of your brother? Not just because y'all my cousins.
Right.
It should go outside of that.
Right. And it should be where you are so like, I don't have a problem seeing my sister on the street and just go, man, you are beautiful. Have a wonderful day. We struggle with just giving each other compliments. It's like,
I don't have that issue. I
You
don't
know
have that
what?
issue.
I still,
Yeah.
I just, it's just really a sad situation because being in the classroom, a lot of students will focus on people like, they will say the B, the
yeah,
B, Beyonce, and it's like, okay, or have you researched what she actually did? What I mean,
right.
I'm not saying she hasn't done anything. I'm just saying they're basing it off of popularity. That's why I'm gonna go back to, and it's like, how can we refocus the generations that are coming behind us and refocus people in general to look beyond the popularity and find the people that actually made a change or a difference or continue. They could be somebody up the street giving food to the needy constantly
Yeah,
for 20 years, and that person has selflessly given their time and their money to do stuff
yeah,
like that. Those
yeah,
are our Black history people too. And so how can
They
exactly.
we
absolutely
refocus
are.
us and
Absolutely.
refocus our generations behind us? We got to start doing that some kind of way, because I promise you, they're going to think about everybody, like you said, Martin and all of them, and the B and the B.
Well, I think that it starts with us. It starts with bringing the purity back in the community. I put on Facebook today, I don't know if y'all saw it, with the mom who was she had the kids and they were taught to dress up. I thought it was so cute. They had their little suits on and they were having family time, but she was teaching them etiquette and they were serving. And we got to go back to that. We have come so far away from the principles that we grew up with, because now we're told, oh no, we shouldn't do that. But children appreciate when you teach them.
They do.
They appreciate that. We say chivalry is dead. No, it's not. You should be teaching your young boys how to open the door, how to
Mhm.
get the bag, how to take the trash out,
Mhm.
how to, help and assist. But we don't we forget those things that's going to make those young people great. It
Mhm.
starts with character. It starts with
But
integrity.
that's what I was just getting ready to say. It's character building. It's character building when you know proper etiquette and just know how to do things. They tease me at work, Lee, when I was working. They used to tease me, Lee, you just know stuff. I do. Because my mother, my parents, they took the time out to make sure that I knew stuff. And sometimes
Right.
I don't even realize how much stuff that they put in me till something comes up and it's like, oh, and it just falls out of me because they took the time to make sure, like you said, I had all of the tools that I needed for when I needed them. You
But
know,
when we say celebrating Black history, I think we don't really understand what that means. We got to do
Oh,
away with
they
the
put the
we
history
got
on there so they
we got
think
to do away
that.
with the garbage. We got to redefine
yeah.
who we really are. We got to take all the garbage and stop looking at it on the TV. I think that,
Mm.
you know, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Even when I was younger, I hated those movies. Menace to Society. It was like we went through a whole decade of
And let
Black
me tell you,
folks
a lot of people
selling
like that
drugs and
movie
killing each
Friday.
And
other.
then
I'm
we
like,
had Love and Basketball.
no,
No,
Love and
that's
Basketball
different.
was good, but I'm
But
That's
talking
what I'm
about
saying. We didn't
I'm
have
talking
everything
about
that was
like
horrible.
Juice. You had Juice. You had all of the. It seemed like for a whole was it Lee, you worked in social
a
work.
bunch of
So it seemed like
buffoonery.
for at
That's
least
what
10
it
years,
was.
all we saw was Black people doing drugs, selling drugs, shooting each other.
And let me
That
And,
was
help
a
and
you.
then and
Wait
then
a
time.
we
minute.
had the
Let me
rap
help you
music
right
that
That
there.
went
was
Hold
a
along with
on.
it.
specific time.
Hold on. Let me
Time
help you
frame.
right there. You said
Era.
from where I worked, and the whole point is they portray us, and going back to DEI as well, they portray Black people and Black women as the top beneficiaries of
Yes.
DEI, and we are
And we
the
are not.
biggest and the most drug addicts. We're
Yes,
not. You want me to tell you
exactly.
who they are statistically? I'm speaking from experience and statistically. It is the white woman.
I live in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I
It's the
concur.
white woman.
Yes.
That is receiving benefits,
Yep.
that are substance
Well,
abusers,
those about to
that
get
are
cut off.
alcoholics, that are beneficiaries of DI.
Yes. Say it,
Okay?
girl. Say
Because
it.
they are made it's just, because it falls under woman, because
Right.
let's give it to them.
And I'm telling you, I told somebody, I said, ain't nobody ever give me nothing. I said, whether
And
I
they
was
feel like,
whether I was a married woman or a single mom, I ain't never collect nothing from the system. I have
Don't worry.
worked and I
That's
have
what they're saying
raised
now.
kids,
They
and
got 2
I
years.
ain't never, I didn't, my kids don't say
wait, what you say, Dad? Wait.
They got 2 years now. You know, your
Oh, yeah,
president has put a
but
stop to that.
well, that's what it was supposed to be in the first place.
Exactly.
It was
Project
supposed to be
2025.
3 years and then off, but it went from the mother became a grandmother, became
Yes.
a great grandmother.
Yes.
And everybody, wait, you got like 14,000 kids
And
that's
we're wondering where our tax money and our money is
and
going.
that's what
And
I'm
that's where it's
saying.
going.
It's like,
It
but
ain't
when
going in
we
my pocket as an
go
educator.
back to what Lee said, we celebrate Black History. No, that's every day. That's 365 days a year. We gotta think differently. We gotta. I hate Tubi. Tubi is starting to really get on my nerve because
We used to watch it all the time.
everything. No, I like some movies on Tubi, but the movies where every woman is the H word, every man
Oh, I
is
can't
he
watch that
is.
stuff.
Them the ones that I
Every
can't.
woman is a crackhead. Every woman is
Right.
a drug addict. Every woman been battered. Every woman is in the struggle. Every woman ain't been in the struggle.
He got some
And
other stuff.
right.
He got some other stuff out there, like all the Queen's men and stuff.
But we have
everybody-
successful. We have successful
She's
women.
successful.
Oh, is she? Marilyn? Yes, she is.
Marilyn.
No.
Listen, y'all done got
Madam, ma'am,
Madam.
you gotta watch. Her name is Madam.
Right.
Y'all done took me all the way off of Black history.
I'm sorry. Well, Zatima, these are Black shows.
They
Tyler
are.
Perry
But
is
you
one of
know
the
what?
Black history icons. He is. He gives a lot. He gives
But I
a lot.
had a fun fact, not even a fun fact, just a fun fact. Something that I just read not too long ago, and I found out about ice cream. One of my favorite desserts. Breakfasts, lunches, whatever. I love ice cream. And I got sick, and for 2 years I couldn't eat ice cream. I got myself together because I wanted to eat some ice cream. So, did you know that Black people were not allowed to eat vanilla ice cream?
I believe it. Yeah, I heard that.
They were not served vanilla ice cream.
Right. Because the vanilla ice cream
even
is better.
in their freedom.
Yeah.
But did you want me to tell you why? Because it was considered to be pure. And white.
Exactly.
And for white folks.
Like
only.
Angel White.
Like Angel
Devil Fool.
Yes. It was considered. And I forget the man's name. Oh, man. I should know his name. I forget the man's name. And they would only give Black people chocolate ice cream.
Because chocolate was dark and it was related to like the bad, and the white was considered good. But the thing about it is,
what they did,
and we still doing that today.
Yes,
it still is. It still is. And the thing with this young man, and oh Lord, I'm going to think of his name. I hope it comes to me. He got bored with it, and he started to mix all the stuff that they wouldn't give us. You know, they putting eggs and brown sugar into the ice cream, and then we started cultivating peanuts and pecans.
Right.
And that is how we got butter pecan ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
A mess.
Thank you for that fun fact.
She know her ice cream.
Yes.
I'll go share it with my kids tomorrow.
Yes, I'm going to go find me a Baskin Robbins.
It's funny that Black people, they say that it's one of the favorites of Black people. Butter pecan
I don't like ice cream, so but it's okay. But that's what I'm saying. It's like how
Who created butter
we
pecan ice cream?
we have
Yeah.
adopted so many different things. And again, when I look at us, and I don't like to, I think that people get turned off when I talk about my family, because they're like, your family doesn't. I was told by one of my friends who's Caucasian, he said, well, your family is not normal. He
Yeah,
said
I was
Okay,
told
now what
he
that
we
too. I
said
talking
said you
about?
because
What
are
we
an
talking about?
most
oxymoron.
black people are ignorant
It's an
and
oxymoron. I said, what do you mean? It's an oxymoron.
right. And
Oxymoron means it's
I'm like,
not
wait
supposed to
a
happen.
minute.
Okay, wait, y'all lost me. We talking about Black History Love. What we talking about now? Hold on, family. Y'all know y'all lost me. I
No,
lose.
we still on Black History.
Okay.
But when he said that, I was like, wait a minute. That's how they really see us. And
Oh.
I think that they get upset when you don't present yourself in that way. It's like, how dare you, Daphne, be beautiful? How dare you, Leisha, be beautiful? How dare you,
No,
Yvonne?
how dare you consider and think more of yourself?
Right. It's like I think that people get mad when you say, and this is for real. They rather you down yourself and talk about yourself, and they feel comfortable with you doing that, than you being a person that says, I'm a person of quality. I'm a person of integrity. I'm a person of character. People love me. For
I
some
love
reason, people
myself.
don't want to hear that. They want you to, they like it better when you just dogging yourself out. Now, if you walk around saying, I'm just a dumb bee, and I'm just
I hate
ugly,
when you
or
call it
I'm
anyway.
I'm fat, or I hate those words. I hate the H word, I hate the B word, I hate the N word, I
My
hate
name is
all those
Leisha.
words.
I
And you
hate
know
the
what,
F
y'all,
word.
think
I
about it.
hate the
When
L
we
word.
was coming up, if you called a black person an N word, if you called a woman a B, we fighting. We fighting.
In
To
our
tell you
era,
the truth.
growing up,
We
yeah.
fighting if you call me
And
an
now
A.
they want to consider
Now
it a
it's
term of
just,
endearment. That's no term of endearment for me.
yeah, it's like,
No.
you listen to Cardi B, you listen to all these people. It's like, oh, I'm a bad B. Why you got to be a bad B? Why you can't just be a boss? Why you can't just be bad?
Yeah.
Why you got to put that word on there? And that's what I don't understand. It's like, going back to our history, though, it's people, yeah, back then they fought for their rights. But when you look at now, we don't have to fight. We can walk in who we really
Oh
are.
yeah, we still
I
fighting for
think we
our
still have
rights.
to fight, girls,
We still
somewhere.
fighting for our rights.
We
Well,
still fighting.
yeah,
We
We
have
just not
been
fighting like
given.
our ancestors fought.
right,
That's all.
right,
We're
Yeah,
not losing,
yeah.
we just don't have to
well,
fight.
we
If
do
the
lose
fight
some
has
limbs,
changed,
but we're not losing limbs like they were.
we still in the fight, but our
Mhm.
tools are different.
Different.
Yeah,
We're trying to make
absolutely.
things
Our
different.
weapons. Excuse me, our weapons have changed.
Absolutely. I totally
Listen,
agree.
y'all, we've been on here chit chatting. We've talked about love. That's
And
what we've done
Black
today.
history.
Today was chit chat. We've talked about love, how you feel about it, how you expect to be treated, and we've talked about our Black history just a little bit, on who you admire and what's good for you, and ice cream.
Fun fact about ice cream. Now, when I do eat ice cream, this is how I like it. It has to be from a big name brand ice cream shop. It has to be hard ice cream. And then I like my butter pecan on the bottom, my Pralings and cream in the middle, and my cookies and cream on top. And I always get 3 scoops in a waffle cone.
Okay. Well,
That's
I
it.
can I can only eat one scoop because I can't eat a bunch of ice cream. Mm-mm.
okay.
Bluebell, I'll do if it's not Carvel's or if it's not like
I don't like soft ice
Valicia
cream.
specialty place or
Yeah.
Roosters or something like that. If it's not that, if it's home, I'll not Bluebell. Bluebell got so many flavors. But banana
Oh,
pudding.
but you got to go to the original Bluebell. If you go to the original Bluebell, you will never eat Bluebell again.
Mm.
Oh God. But listen, I'm
Is
gonna
that in
tell you.
Florida?
No, that is in Texas, ma'am. In Brenham.
Okay.
Listen, soon as you get yourself back in Texas, we coming to Texas.
Yes. Yes. Be like,
We're
this
gonna have
ain't
to find us an
Texas.
Airbnb or something, and we gonna
Oh,
come to Texas.
It'll be
that's a
some
whole nother look, Vaughn, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, because it's hot in
The
Texas.
first Grammy for the first black person was Beyonce.
Yeah.
God bless her.
B.
Yeah.
That's the one plus thing. There's a lot of
With,
black people that won.
with her fur coat and her cowboy hat and cowboy boots. You don't wear a fur coat in Texas because it's too hot.
But she wasn't in Texas.
Not when she did it, right?
She did it.
She done crossed over genres and took over. I know they were like this, Lee.
Everybody was.
They didn't want it though. They said she is not a country singer.
And she gonna do it for rock too. Watch. She's gonna cross over all them genres.
She's not a country singer. She made a country album.
And she had guests that were
okay.
Country singers.
She's not a country singer.
But she won.
Right, y'all. Listen,
proud of the people. She won.
It has been amazing. I appreciate y'all for coming on and look, being there. Listen, we are your cousins for life, and we love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Wait.
I'm the four today.
At some point. Bleisha, can you put your 4 in the side? In. Yeah. Okay. All right, cousins for life. We love you. Like and share.
Bye.